going to do another reading for you today. This is called I'm More Than I Seem, and then Undercurrents. I did not write the date that I wrote this, so oh well. So anyway, the card that I got out was the Six of Pentacles, and it's Eridanus is the name of the constellation that we're considering also. It's like a snake, right? So this energy says this particular energy, Six of Diamonds can be considered the tower, not like the tower in tarot, but it's like talking about an actual like building of some sort. And so the tower that it would be talking about has something to do with security, a bank, or a vault, a place of security, or where we secure finances, sometimes seen as a place of confinement. And also the word Ivory Tower is associated with this card, and I believe it's this constellation also, but it talks about the Song of Songs in the Bible, and it talks about the beloved's neck is compared to a tower of ivory, and that's in Solomon 7:4. It symbolizes beauty, grace, and noble elegance, sometimes as a reference to an elite, a group or government, scholars or thinkers who are detached from the real world or reality, what's actually happening in the world. And then, so a statement that would go along with that is, they live in an ivory tower, lost in ideas and fantasies, unaware of what's truly happening, pointing out when we become so pure or so elevated or considered like so high in life that we believe that we could become above it all, and that we become ineffectual. Like if you have a movement and you're trying to move something, like it starts to kind of fade because you're so out of touch with reality, or you're so isolated in some kind of way. And then, so the river that it's referring to, Danus, I don't know, whatever. It's referred to as the river, and it weaves like a serpent in the sky. One of the largest constellations in the sky. It's near the foot of Orion, the hunter following the deep south across the heavens, vanishing below the horizon from the northern latitudes. Archanar, one of the brightest stars in the night sky, seen as the mouth of the river. It is a river of stars leading to infinity, associated by the Romans as the river of Po in Italy, the path of Paithion, I don't know, son of Helios. So if y'all know the legend of that, that's who that is. Who tried to drive the sun chariot and lost control, crashing into a river named Eridanus after Zeus struck him down. And it's considered a boundary between worlds. And I find it funny that I get this card, and then I also got this one right here. So this is called the Rivals, and I'll go over that, but this card refers to this one, in my opinion. So this one is also considered the cosmic river leading to the underworld, or a spirit realm, where it takes fallen gods burned out on ambition and being cosmically reckless, carrying both glory and ruin down the stream. Crossing of thresholds, the Milky Way's mystic mirror. And this one is Ignita, the Ace of Diamonds. So, and the energy that's associated with this is I will. It is the realm of fire, a living kingdom, a fierce guardian, protecting the unprepared from the power and the ravages within. So sometimes that can mean literally somebody is mad, but they protect other people from experiencing it, or somebody literally is protecting somebody from another's action. Where did I lose my spot? It is considered drive, and it is hunger. A volcanic dynamo, woo, English, is a seething dragon, an amplifier or surrounding energy. So that's a lot of talking about the planet Mars for me, because Mars can literally be like, when it comes to the highway, Mars is considered the gas, right? Or, you know, like the car. And then it's talking about volcanic dynamo, and volcanic is also another word for Mars. A seething dragon, you know? So, yeah. Then I got Agana. I probably botched it yesterday, but here it is again. Came back first twice, 2 different decks. So here we go. So this one, it means passion. So the golden bird of prey, seeking out and retrieving the heart's deepest desires, attracting what one needs, passion, and it's partly conscious, passion and passions. What did I write? Passions and partly conscious, partly unconscious. Okay. So you're either aware of what you are thinking about or you're not. And both are bound. So sometimes can't tell the difference between the two. A feeling of deep loneliness and yearning. Finding happiness where another heart or spade to channel its bottomless emotions. So it's funny because we do have the King of Spades here. So this one correlates to this one. Okay. Okay, now here's my rivals. Sun and Moon. And is the personification of Sun and Moon. Partners, yet rivals. Each their own clear and separate territory. Yet, the moment of sunrise to sunset, they brush against each other. And also during eclipses, they come together. Setting the sky ablaze. It's the energy of opposition and dynamic duality, enormous power, forces that depend on each other, yet defy one another ultimately. Like in the sky above in the terra firma, and ancestral opposition, we possess both the sun and moon, and we feed our own opposition, containing our own creative spark. Without it, all would be darkness and sleep. It's a primordial power. The force that formed stars, cracked the void, split the dark womb into duality. The pulse of all becoming, mastering your own inner chaos without fearing it. Trusting your intuition so deeply that you don't ask, you just know. Okay, this is Marduk. It can symbolize industrious, either someone who works with it or literally just industries of some sort. A leader in labor, either practical, direct, and reliable. Very conservative, set in his ways. Potentially oppressive presence. Must be aware of the capability of becoming tyrannical or callous. Slow and methodical, decisive in action, private, serious, maybe a loner, a bachelor, or a wanderer. So then when I put it together, what those energies together could be: a moment of balance around value, energy, or destiny choices. Are you flowing or resisting? Lessons on learning to let go. Follow your current path. It will lead you to truth. Flooding banks, and I put that in a box and I put over to the side river and banks, like actual banks where we put the money, since that was already referenced. So it says flooding the banks of what you thought you knew. What do you love so much that it could crack you open? Fire that creates and the love that makes it worth it. Possibly a conflicted relationship, a projection, where passion turns into power struggles. What are you guarding? Is it something out of fear, keeping truths too heavy to bear until now? Being carried through a deep love lesson and learning powerful lessons. A cost of staying divided. Confusion in desires. Are you ruled by ghosts? Feel it all fully from the depths of riverbed grief and rapture's flame. Oh, reading aloud for people to witness. What am I doing? And then also, so yesterday I did a video and I wrote something that referenced this, but this came out in this one. So then I ended up reading it for that one, but I'm going to still read it for this one. You're welcome. Okay, so all of this adds to the number 23. All of these cards, what they're talking about. So for those of you who did not see yesterday's, this is change, freedom, chaos, curiosity, the human experience, a sacred pivot point, when the universe stirs the pot. I think what's happening right now out in the world is a pot well stirred, I guess. That's what I would call that. May be experienced as restlessness, or seeing synchronicity, repeating things, numbers, songs, something, or a pattern, right? Repeating of something. And then I mentioned yesterday that the master number is tied to Mercury, and it's called the trickster. So it is literally a master number that can talk about when something's being meddled with. Has kind of like a, it's like there's two different Peter Pans, and one of them is mischievous for a funny way, and where things, happen funnily, or whatever. Anyway, but there's another energy that is where it kind of feels like malicious trickery kind of energy. So it has both, it can be both, but depending on the energy that's surrounding it, talking about that. So at the time that I was doing this reading, Mercury was at 23 degrees, Mars was at 23 degrees, and so is the North Node. And then, so there was a lot of, you're probably like thinking, what does that mean? It just seems like Mercury is words written, or thoughts coming out. Mars can be like when we have angry words, volcano. Imagine the word it's talking about is volcano, and saying some sharp, hot, spicy things, which we've seen. That was interesting. And it's funny because when I did that reading, I didn't realize what had happened out in all the stuff and things, so that's funny. So a frequency number that which means that it's an energy that you genuinely feel. So if you're starting to see 23, if 23 is like an interesting number that kind of popped up towards you, there's normally, it should be like little obvious tiny little changes around you. You could also be seeing 1212 because that happens a lot too around the time of 23. So then it was talking about showing up at the edge of change, and that humans have 23 chromosomes. The blueprint of physical form, our ability to have memory or have figure out our ancestry or have any type of inheritance as far as talents that we inherit through lineages. And then I had pointed out, and it was funny because I recorded this video yesterday about a specific sentence I said, and then like later that night, the news station also referred to the Donald Trump and Elon thing and Julius Caesar, which is funny because it's also in here. Julius Caesar was stabbed 23 times. So I was just kind of like, wait, what? Nah, it totally happened. I don't remember what channel I was watching, but somebody brought up that, and I thought that was kind of synchronistic, I guess, since I'm talking about it. And then I was talking about the Titanic. The date of its sinking is, if you add up the entire date, equals 23. It means a reality check, where reality is breaking. Something, the way that you used to think about it, is no longer the same. And then I Ching, it was referred to as the splitting apart. So if paying attention to energies that are being pulled apart almost, or an energy of that. I guess it'd be like kind of like, I don't know what I'm thinking about, like slime or putty when you push it together and you squeeze your hands through it and you just kind of like keep pulling until it rips apart. It's kind of like that. It's not something that just separates. It's something that has to be like, forcefully ripped apart. And then I wrote down a stripping away of illusions. So if you've been thinking about something a very particular way, which sometimes this is kind of very uncomfortable when you're thinking about something a particular way, or you thought something was a particular way, and then something happens. Mercury, Mars, could be a heated argument, or words that come in very quick and sharp, and it completely 360s the way that you've been thinking about something, which can cause a good amount of confusion, but it can be very enlightening, like, to finally know an answer of some part. And then it says, an ending is not really an ending. The story isn't over. So I guess sometimes the energy of, I can't go on, I don't really know how to handle this, I don't know how to whatever, blah, blah, blah. We get really confused and stuck in a place where we're just kind of like, don't know what to do. And I feel like this energy, even when I called it as I'm more than I'm seen, undercurrents, which is sometimes like, I guess one could refer to it as when you're feeling a vibe in a room, like when somebody walks into the room and the vibe changes and you can feel the energy move. I think that's what this is talking about, is feel the undercurrents, feel what isn't spoken, see more than you want to see, pay attention to how your body is perceiving something, someone, whatever it is, because it's in the undercurrents, I guess. It's in the body language. It's in the unspoken, even though this does refer to Mercury, which should be words. Sometimes it's action. It's an action taken, very quick action. And sometimes actions speak louder than words. So I hope that was helpful to somebody. Bye.